Protection with Officer David Northway with Tallahassee Police Department. It's estimated thousands of people every year go missing, and it's something that we see here frequently in the Tallahassee area as well. You know, not a week goes by, do we not get some kind of notification about, you know, a missing child? And for the most part, they do end on a happy note.
Yeah, almost all of those children or missing people that you're talking about are going to come back home. The majority of them are runaways. But at the same time, we do get those cases that move into a different realm. Mm-hmm. And the most recent case would be the Ryan Urie case. And people ask me all the time, what's the difference? Well, a teenager who's under the rules and guise of an adult, and they go running away because they get angry about one thing, is a little bit different than someone who is an adult living on their own, taking care of themselves, has their own property, and one day they're there, and the next day they're gone completely. That's completely different. A lot of times when we get those runaways, we can track them or find them via phone calls. They're calling home and saying, "I'm fine, but I'm just not coming home." We're still going to try and find them because they belong with their parents. But an adult who goes missing, we're going to treat that completely differently. And someone who kind of falls off the face of the earth, which is they're here one minute and gone the next, that's a completely different situation. That says, oh gosh, we really need to make sure that we start working it. Now, we're going to work all of them the same, but we're going to treat each of them as a case-by-case basis. We would never want to assume one thing, which is, oh, they're just missing, or, oh no, it's terrible. You have to try to figure out which one it is in between, and that's what our investigators are doing all the time.
And talk to me a little bit more specifically about that, because obviously you guys are in a position where you can be easily criticized, you know, by friends or family, you know, wondering, are you doing enough? So how do you guys measure whether or not you guys are doing enough for that specific case?
Well, the first thing that I would say to that is that I can assure you on each case we're working every one of them. We have a department that takes care of missing children or missing persons. Mm-hmm. There are protocols that we have set in place of how we start each and every one of them. There are different avenues that we explore. There's different alert systems that we can use, and each one is taken through the investigator and then to a sergeant and a lieutenant and a captain, and all of them are in that process. They all talk about it. They all figure out what's the best process and how to make sure that we're following all the leads or doing whatever we can to bring that person home.
And finally, I want to ask you a little bit here, because again, you know, sometimes there may be hesitation. You know, in the Ryan Urie case, it took several days. Some friends, you know, saying maybe it's not uncommon for him to just leave. And in other positions, how do you know whether or not the time is right to call police, to get somebody else involved?
We can't make that decision for you, but what I can offer you is that if you feel you should be doing it and you're not doing it, the little hairs on the back of your neck are standing up, you probably should be doing it. They're there for a reason. So sooner is always better than later with us, especially with someone who's missing. If you call us and say, I can't find him, and then 5 minutes later he walks in the door, then all you have to do is call us back and say, hey, he's home. But if you don't call us and the time keeps ticking away, we would much rather prefer to have it quicker, you know, sooner than later in this case.
Every moment
Absolutely.
certainly adds
Every
up there.
moment adds up.
All right, Officer David Northway talking For Your Protection.
Thank you.
Tallahassee Police Department, thank you very much. And you can find more information about our For Your Protection series and more information about missing persons by checking out our website, WTXL.TV.